Sanje Juda Zoge Jonano, Janju Badu, Dane Japsu She, Dage Chinso Gibe Son, Toda Venir Sanje Dubaresho, Sanje Juda Zoge Chonam, Janju Badu, Dane Japsu She, Dage Chinso Gibe Sonam, Toda Venir Sanje Dubaresho, Sanje Juda Zoge Chonam, Janju Badu, Dane Japsu She, Dage Chinso Gibe Sonam, Tola Benjer Sanje Duvaresho. I go for refuge and to enlighten to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha by my accumulations to the practice of giving and so forth. May I become a Buddha to benefit sentient beings. I go for refuge and to enlighten to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha by my accumulations to the practice of giving and so forth. May I become a Buddha to benefit sentient beings. I go for refuge and to enlighten to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha, by my accumulations of practice of giving and so forth. May I become a Buddha to benefit of being. Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam hetum te sham dathagato yavatat Desham Chayo Nirodha Evam Vati Maha Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhava Hetum Te Sham Dathagato Yavatat Desham Chayo Nirodha Evam Vati Mahashramanaye Swaha Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhava Hetum Te Sham Dathagato Yavatat Desham Chayo Nirodha Evam Vati Mahashramanaye Swaha. All phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata, whatever is the cessation of these causes, as well as taught thus by the great seer. Okay. This morning we were talking about the three kinds of suffering, particularly the pervasive condition of suffering. And Acharya Dharmakirti, which many of you already are aware of, his name is something that comes to our mind very frequently, Acharya Dharmakirti. And Acharya Dharmakirti in his text, Pramana Vartika, the text Pramana Vartika, this is a very beautiful text, very extremely valuable text. And so there, what he said is that when the Buddha taught, this is a truth, the truth of suffering is to be identified. They meditated. What he said is that when the Buddha taught, the truth of suffering is to be identified. The Buddha meant the pervasive condition suffering. So of the three sufferings, we feel so pained by the first kind of suffering. And the more evolved beings will see that the suffering change is worse than that. Suffering change is seen as so vicious, so cunning, vicious, entrapping us, and then let us suffer in with the suffering. And then as you go even further, even more developed, then you see that it's the pervasive condition of suffering which is the mastermind of all the sufferings. So when you realize the gravity of the pervasive condition of suffering with respect to how we are being conditioned in samsara, and let us continuously suffer to go through the suffering changes and so forth, then that person or that being realizes that pervasive condition suffering is the one which we need to renounce. So that sense of renunciation to renounce a pervasive conditioned suffering, that is the final meaning of the renunciation. So thus far, for the time being, what we think is that, oh, I'm fed up with the samsara. That is, we are more like the scared of the suffering. And of course, that is also very precious. But then we should not just feel complacent with the feeling that the renouncing or desiring to get away from suffering is good enough. No, this is just a beginning. Then we have to go to the suffering change and eventually pervasive conditioned suffering. When we truly feel that pervasive conditioned suffering is the one which makes us suffer and I need to get away from this, that is the true meaning of the renunciation. And for the Buddha, who are the two teachers? Okay, Nicola? Okay, I think this is a problem with the Swiss, French, Belgium, they tongue. It's a tongue twister for Acharya Alara Kalam. Okay, so Kusala was the first teacher. Amazing. You already read the Swiss. Okay. Acharya Alara Kalam. And then the second teacher? Perfect. Acharya Udreka. Okay. So now look, this is extremely important for us. In fact, Bhagavad says that being here and brought by the Genduruba Center here into then the Chamziling, and the takeaway, I would say, should be, of course, there are many things which we inherited from the great teachers like His Holiness the Dalai Lama and all the Narayan masters. But one thing that we should really have something concrete to take away is that the two teachers of Prince Siddhartha, why the Prince Siddhartha left the two teachers after having reached the same realization as the two teachers, and why the Prince Siddhartha left is because the two teachers they did not still have the means to solve the problems for all the beings. So finally, the Buddha discovered that the final solution to the problems, because even the two teachers, they did not discover the root of all the problems. The Prince Siddhartha discovered that. Prince Siddhartha sensed that the root of the problem is still what the two teachers did not discover. So there's still something missing. So he left and went in search of what the real root of the problem is. And finally the Buddha discovered that it was the self-grasping ignorance, which the two teachers did not discover. And then as a remedy to this, Buddha discovered the wisdom of emptiness. So that becomes very special. So therefore, the wisdom of emptiness should be the one to counteract the pervasive conditioned suffering. So the two teachers, they did not discover the pervasive conditioned suffering. They only discovered the first and the second, and then they temporarily get over these two sufferings, but could not even identify the third one. Forget about applying remedies to overcome the third kind of suffering. They could not even identify the kind of suffering. So the Buddha discovered what the third kind of suffering is. What is third suffering? Pervasive conditioned suffering. Now the Buddha discovered that pervasive conditioned suffering is the one which is the mastermind of all the problems. Unless you deal with this, all other treatments, all other remedies, they are like symptomatic treatments. They're symptomatic treatments. These are not real treatments. So this is what the Buddha discovered. Now the takeaway from this is that, okay, so why the two teachers? For example, the meditation, samadhi, single point meditation, People talk about the meditation, mindfulness, meditation all the time, and sensing, feeling that this is the ultimate teaching of the Buddha. But use of common sense. The two teachers, they're already accomplished in these meditations. I'm repeating this. The two teachers already accomplished in these meditations, some other meditations. They're already accomplished highest level. For example, we did not really go too deep into this part. The first teacher, Acharya Alagrappa. So what we said is that desire, form, and formless. And the form, again, has 4 divisions. So I think Stefano said that, of the 4, the suffering change exists in the desire realm and the first 3 of the 4 realms. And the formless also has 4 divisions. Formless, which is the highest level, has 4 divisions. And Acharya Alarakalam, he attained the 3rd of the 4. 3rd of the 4, which is the vacuity. Okay, the 4 formless realms. What are the 4 formless realms? Anyone? 4 formless realms. 4 formless realms. Anyone? 4 formless realms. Okay, so okay. Okay, so the formless again into 4. So it's good to know these things. I'm not going to go into detail. Formless into 4. The first one is known as infinite space. Infinite space. Namgataye in Tibetan. Namgataye, infinite space. Number 2, infinite consciousness. Namshetaye, infinite consciousness. Namshetaye. And number 3, vacuity. Chiame, in Tibetan, Chiame, vacuity. Number 4, the peak of existence. Sitse, in Tibetan. Okay, number 1, infinite space. Namgataye. Infinite consciousness. Namshetaye. Chiame, the vacuity. And finally, peak of existence. Sitse. 4. Now look, this first teacher, Acharya Alarakalam, he succeeded in achieving the samadhi of the 3rd. And the Buddha attained the same level very quickly and asked for more teachings. And he said that you have attained everything, there's nothing more. And in those days, the different teachers, they are deeply into meditative states, and they experience high level of the meditation, and they have their own students, they teach them, and some of them, they truly feel, if the teacher reach only the 3rd level, they think that this is ultimate. And some reach only the 2nd. And then if they got a feeling that all what they've learned from their teacher is the 2nd, and they think that they attained the ultimate. And the Buddha, because he was looking for the ultimate solution to all the problems, so he realized that the 3rd is not the ultimate solution, because he reached the same level as the teacher. And then he sought the help of the 2nd teacher, who reached the final one, peak of existence. So now, the peak of samsara, who reached the highest level within samsara. Now he did not get the answer to get out of samsara. Okay, for example, let me see. Say if you are on an aeroplane, if the aeroplane keeps moving, do you think that it will get out of the orbit of Earth? Why not? Just keep going away. Then it goes away from the solar system. Anila, no. Why not? Huh? No, he's just that's, as long as the fuel is enough, just keep going. You can keep going like this. Keep going. What's the problem? Why not out? Why not? A. Ah. Yeah, Anila, it depends on the pilot. If the pilot wants to go out, he can go out. No, I'm not saying no. Okay, Yuan. Uh-huh. Oh, there's no oxygen, but oxygen we can create inside. So therefore, the rockets, they cannot go outside. It did not land in Mars. There's no oxygen. Oh, okay. Okay. Now we have no time. So this is known as it requires incredibly push, as Anila said. It requires incredible push, which is known as escape velocity. Escape velocity. You should they run in such a way, you should fly in such a way that the speed should cross one limit. That limit is known as escape velocity. And for that you require special the fuel, special fuel to burn, so that it will give you this push. And only then you can escape the orbit of the planet Earth. Otherwise, you keep flying, it'll go around like this. It'll never go out. So what Allah said. So it requires a escape velocity. So the true teachers, they were in samsara like this all the time. No matter how much they meditate, it's just inside like this all the time. They could not escape. So the escape velocity from exiting out of samsara is the wisdom of emptiness. So that was missing. What's the opposite of wisdom of emptiness? A self-grasping ignorance. So self-grasping ignorance is the one which traps you, is the gravity which pulls you in samsara. Self-grasping ignorance. So self-grasping, as long as self-grasping ignorance is there, you cannot exit out of samsara. And the two teachers, while they're so successful in the meditation, but they're still in samsara because they did not have this. And they could not see the faults, they could not see the mistake of the self-grasping ignorance. They could not see the self-grasping ignorance as a pervasive condition suffering. So they did not have the solution to overcome that. So the Buddha learned about this, and within 6 years, he found this. He discovered that self-grasping ignorance is the root of the problem, and then sought the remedies to overcome that. Okay, so what we said, finally take away from this is, okay, so the three kinds of suffering, particularly self-grasping ignorance. If we don't have a solution to this, then no matter what we do, oh, I want to renounce samsara, no matter what you do to renounce samsara, you will still keep going inside samsara, keep revolving around samsara. Okay, one time there was a very senior professor who was my extremely good friend. I would say, yeah, I can describe him as my friend. But actually he's highly respected, the professor, very senior professor. And one day he invited me to his house. And one day, he and his wife, and we were sitting on the dining table, and we were discussing about, and they were extremely kind. So, under one situation, I said, then we can come back, we pray, we can come back. And the lady said that, no, I'll not come back. I said, why not? She said that samsara is terrible, I'll not come back. That's amazing, if you have a choice, right? Oh, I'll not come back now. That's enough. I don't want to come back. If this is how you exit samsara? Everybody can do it. But why even the two teachers, they could not get out of samsara? Because they did not know the wisdom of emptiness. So therefore, it's not that, oh, I'm tired. But this is not a solution. Solution is what keeps us in samsara. You have to identify that. What is that? Self-grasping ignorance. So unless you put remedy, you apply remedy to overcome this self-grasping ignorance, there's no way by which we can get out. So for you, for me, the same. So we have to see the self-grasping ignorance root the problem. And for this, so now let's say that we have discovered that self-grasping ignorance is the root of all the problems. For example, like, say, the Arctic Circle, like 5,000 years ago. Buddha came to only 2,500 years ago. Like 5,000 years ago, 10,000 years ago, Arctic Circle, it was extremely frozen. You agree? Frozen, and the icebergs, they were so firm and strong. And if you want to stack the stories like the houses, you can keep stacking it. The base is so strong. And those days, 5,000 years ago, Homo sapiens, how old? Homo sapiens, 0.3 million years ago, 300,000 years. 300,000 years, Homo sapiens, human beings. And 5,000 years is just nothing. 5,000 years of the Homo sapiens, human beings. Then 5,000 years ago, around Arctic Circle, I don't think they ever thought that one day there's going to be global warming. They thought that there's going to be extremely firm, stable iceberg. You can build houses on top of this iceberg. It's so strong and firm. And then you stack one story, second story, third story, fourth story, fifth story. Still is very firm. 5,000 years later, 2026, global warming. Even the iceberg starts to melt in Arctic Circle. Then when it melts, what happens? Whatever is stacked on top of this will all crumble down. You getting it? So self-grasping ignorance is like that iceberg. Like that iceberg on which all these houses were stacked, like inappropriate tension, afflictions, contaminant karmas. Then all three levels of the miseries are stacked. And when your self-grasping ignorance, iceberg of the self-grasping ignorance, when that melts, everything stacked on top will all crumble down. Your miseries will stop. So this is what the Buddha discovered. So the Buddha taught us how to melt the iceberg of self-grasping ignorance. So to remove self-grasping ignorance, what should we do? To remove self-grasping ignorance, what should we do? Just imagine, okay, let's say that self-grasping ignorance is like darkness. In dark, you don't see what is around you. Ignorance, by the very definition, is the mental factor which obscures you from having the vision of the reality. Ignorance, by the very definition, is a mental factor which obscures you from having the reality. So it likes darkness. How to get rid of the darkness? With light. Say you want to read a book and 12 midnight, and suddenly there's a power cut. And it's dark, you want to read book, and there's no light, and you pray to Buddha, Buddha, please remove the darkness. If the Buddha is sitting next to you, Buddha will be very upset. What a stupid follower. Whereas if you light a candle, Buddha will be very happy, very smart. So, just as to remove the darkness is only to introduce the light, likewise it is only through introducing the light of the wisdom that the darkness of ignorance can be eradicated. Let me repeat it. Just as the darkness can be eradicated by introducing light, it's only through introducing the light of the wisdom that the darkness of ignorance can be eradicated. So what is that wisdom? Next question. The wisdom is a discerning mind. Wisdom is a discerning mind whose apprehension of the object tallies with the reality. Let me repeat it. What is wisdom? Wisdom is a discerning mind whose apprehension of the object tallies with the reality. What's your next question? What's the reality? So what's the reality? To this the Buddha answered as the third seal. What's the third seal? Everything is the nature of emptiness and selflessness. Okay, so this is wisdom. So this realization, this wisdom, the darkness of ignorance will be eradicated. The iceberg of ignorance is melted. With this, then all whatever is stacked at top, they all crumble down. So your misery is crumbled down, and the peace is dawn. So this is known as all your sorrows are transcended. All your sorrows are transcended. But the sorrows transcend, all your stress, anxiety, they all dissolve. Then what happens? A profound peace dawns in you. This is what the Buddha called as the fourth seal. Transcending sorrow is absolute peace. Transcending sorrow is absolute peace. What we get, a little bit of the peace, respite that we get, is all just symptomatic treatment. And the real peace, the lasting peace, the real peace is where, in the experience of the ultimate reality, in the experience of this wisdom of emptiness, where all the sorrows are transcended, all your sickness, aging, death, tension, depression, anxiety, they all dissolve, and they extremely reliable, very profound peace dawns in you and which lasts forever. That is the nirvana. And the highest state, that is the Buddhahood. So this is taught by the fourth seal. That is, transcending sorrow is absolute peace. Okay, now before we plunge into, okay, now how can I see the reality? So before we plunge into this, I'd like to give you one example, and then based on that we will see how it works. Okay, let's say that I give you three choices. The first one is where you love somebody so much, like say you love somebody so much, how a child loves the mother, how the mother loves the child, how the parents love so there's so much love and affection. And at the time of separation, the pain is so acute. This is one. Second, where you don't love and there's no pain, no gain. Number two. Number three. So, okay, by the way, say feeling affection to somebody, which is better? Feeling affection to somebody is better, or feeling anger to somebody is better? Affection is better. But with affection, there's a side effect. What's the side effect? At the time of separation, the pain is so acute. For example, like I lost my mom when I was 5 years old. Just a little boy. Suddenly somebody who was the world for this little boy, suddenly she disappeared. It was so painful for this boy. So, and the affection is way there. There's no comparison for the affection from the side of the anger or aversion. But affection has side effect. The side effect is that at time of separation, the pain is so acute. This is one. Number two, no affection, no pain. You meet and no affection, and you say bye-bye and no pain. Yeah, this is number two. Number three, affection, so much affection with no pain. Okay, of the three choices, you choose one. Which one? Number three, okay. Number three. How many are very serious with that resentment? Number three. How many serious? Okay. How many serious? Serious meaning somebody who wants to do whatever will make that happen to you. Serious. Okay. If you're very serious, the next question, is it possible? Is it possible? So much affection, but no pain. Possible? Resents. I don't think so. I don't think it's possible. Resents. I don't think it's possible. Resents. Or I'm not too sure. I can't be too positive. Okay, so this is a very important question. To say no, it's not possible is very easy. At the same time, you will continue to feel the pain. You will never reach the third level. But if you say it's possible, then the next question that comes to you is how. So when you say how, then you think. When you think, you grow. You're getting it? When you think, you grow. You grow and you get the answer. You get answer. Okay, so according to Charles Darwin, is not possible. For Buddha, is possible. According to Charles Darwin, these emotions, attachment, anger, aversion, the fear, these are instincts, number one. And number two, we require them for survival. It's the according to evolutionary theory, that we survival of the fittest. But for the Buddha, no, are the instincts? Yes, the instincts. But can we remove them? We can remove them. We can remove them and we can have the infinite ease without the pain. 24/7 ease, no pain is possible. So how is it possible? This is a serious question. And I'm glad that many of you said that you are serious. Not just serious. You're seriously serious. Okay, if you're very seriously serious, your job is to explore how it is possible. Okay. So for that, Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhava. All these pains that we go through, there's a root there. There's a cause there. Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhava. Hetum Tesham Tathagato Hyavadat. What these causes are is taught by the Tathagata, taught by the Buddha. Tesham Jayo Nirodha. The cessation with these causes, the cessation, how to bring an end to these causes of suffering, is also taught by the great seer. Evam Bhati Mahashramanaye Swaha. So, what did the Buddha teach? What are the causes and how to stop the causes? What did the Buddha teach? For that, we need to know one verse. Okay. Anybody? Anybody? One verse. Huh? And no. Which course is he doing? Again, she's saying, study this. What is her name? Kaminia is saying, study this. You're getting it? Okay, look, Stefano is advertising. Kaminia is advertising. Okay, where is it? 147. Page 147. Page 147. Page 147. Page 147. Is it the from Arinigarjuna's? Is it the excerpt? Perfect. Chapter 18, verse number 5. Yes. Chapter 18, verse number 5. In the earlier days, when His Holiness the Dalai Lama would give teachings for an extended period of time, many hours of teaching a day, I remember oftentimes His Holiness started with this verse. In Tibetan? Amazing. Wow. Hey, Tinjala, recite. Perfect. Okay. So, and they say in English, so here the Kamina said it. Stephen, you have this by heart? Okay. And the Chandrula you have by heart? So, Stefano? So, Nicola, yes? Anila? No, by heart? Okay, by heart? Okay, yes. So he has all three, French, English, Tibetan, all. Okay, so the ceasing of karma's afflictions is nirvana. Karma's afflictions arise from conceptualization of inappropriate attention, which in turn arises from the elaboration of self-grasping ignorance. The elaboration ceases through or into emptiness. Okay, so this verse is extremely important, and if you truly understand this meaning, and if you can see that, how the emotions arise within us, how the painful experiences come to us, and how they arise, the mechanism of the suffering. Once you know the mechanism of the suffering, then we will know how to undo the suffering. Okay, let us see. Let me give you a simple example. Okay, wow. Tinder knows what I'm looking for. I didn't say it and he already knows it. Thank you. Okay, so this verse is so important. For this, we have to now know 5 points from this verse. First, it says, ceasing of karma's afflictions is nirvana. Yes, sir. Oh, dire. Ceasing of karma's afflictions is nirvana. What is the opposite of nirvana? What is the opposite of nirvana? Samsara. Number one, samsara. What's the immediate cause of samsara? Contaminated karmas. Number two. Contaminated karmas. Number two. Number three. What is the immediate cause of contaminated karmas? Afflictions. Afflictions. Number three. What is the immediate cause of afflictions? Inappropriate attention. Inappropriate attention. Number four. What is the immediate cause of inappropriate attention? Self-grasping ignorance. Elaboration of self-grasping ignorance. 5. And people ask, what's the immediate cause of self-grasping ignorance? It can't be the cause of itself. Then the perfect, very good. So people tend to ask, so you keep tracking the causes, and then you identify the root, the first cause. If there's a first cause, then before this nothing exists. No. So self-grasping, today's self-grasping ignorance because of the yesterday's self-grasping ignorance. Yesterday's self-grasping ignorance because of 2 days ago. This year's self-grasping ignorance because of the last year's. This life's self-grasping ignorance because of the last life's self-grasping ignorance. So this is how we can track. Okay, all in all, we identify 5 points. What are 5 points? Samsara, contaminated karmas, afflictions, inappropriate attention, self-grasping ignorance. Okay, so some of you may find it a little complex. It's not complex. And the others who have all on the fingertips, they have studied this so well. And if you know the meanings, concepts of these, you try to connect them, it'll become very easy for us. Okay, let us now work with the concept. For the concept, just imagine. So this, you should explain this with the help of the metaphor, the example. So let's say that you are dreaming. You're dreaming, and you're dreaming where you are in your respective houses. Some in Zurich, or some in Belgium, and some in France, and some in America, and some in India. So we are in our respective places. We are sleeping, falling asleep, and you start to dream. In the dream, we're all together in Turten Chamsiling Center for the retreat. We're here. And in the class, you're dreaming. Don't forget, we're dreaming. Then in the class, I showed this. And you look at it, what is this? Hey, what is this? What is this? iPhone, or this is a dream mobile? Dream mobile, you're dreaming. So this dream mobile, okay. You look at it, and you see, and you think there's iPhone there, or there's a phone there, number one. There's a phone there. Actually, it's a dream mobile. You see dream mobile as a mobile phone. Is a valid mind or ignorance? This is ignorance. Okay, look, this is very important. Number two, you look at it very closely. You look at it very closely, And you see it as brand new iPhone 17 Pro Max. You look very closely and you see it is brand new iPhone 17 Pro Max. The Angela seems like she's not interested. She's very bored of iPhone 17 Pro Max. Okay, so then you say that Geshe-la, can two of us, can we have our mobiles exchanged? And mobile exchange, and John Paul said that I already told Geshe-la before we entered this hall. And you and John Paul had fist fight. Although there's no chance to win, but still you fought against him. You fought against him. Then what happens? Police came. Then you went behind bars. So behind bars is prison. Prison is a good place and bad place. Well, not a good place, bad place. That is samsara. And then in the evening, your mother calls you and nobody is responding. Then mother calls the office, Patrick and Marianne. So what happened? My daughter, my son, they are not responding to my phone. Oh, unfortunately, they had a fight with John Paul, and they were not behind bars. So the poor mother comes to the prison. You went for a retreat. You went for a retreat. Why you end up in prison? What's your response? Tenjora, what's your response? Why you end up in prison? Huh? Because of fist fight. Fist fight with John Paul. You're getting it? Fist fight. Why did you fight? You are a good girl. Why did you fight with him? Why did you fight? Because I have competition with him. I have a competition with him, and we're struggling. We are fighting for the same mobile. And you already have a mobile. Your mom will tell you, you already have a mobile. I gave you a mobile last time. And what she says? Mom, the mobile that you gave me is iPhone 6. The one Geshe-la has is brand new iPhone 17 Pro Max. Right? Okay. And the mother asks you, mother says, are you sure this is, in the first place, is it really mobile? Mobile or is it dream mobile? Okay. Now, say the first, you're in prison, there is samsara. Why you end in samsara? Because of the fist fight. Fist fight is karma, action. Karma. Why did you have the fist fight? Because of attachment to the mobile and aversion to John Paul. That is the affliction. Number 3, affliction. Why do you have attachment to the mobile? This is not ordinary mobile. This brand new iPhone 17 Pro Max, extremely high quality mobile. You exaggerated the quality of the object. This is known as inappropriate attention. Inappropriate attention meaning exaggerating the qualities of the object, either so good or so bad. That is exaggerating the qualities of the object, inappropriate attention. And why this inappropriate attention came? Why did you? Are you sure this is a mobile? This is just a dream mobile. It's not even a real mobile. So all the problems started by seeing the dream mobile as a real mobile. That's the first problem. You agree? Then you look at it very closely. You thought this is brand new iPhone 17 Pro Max. That is exaggerating the qualities of the object. That is the inappropriate attention. And I know that you are still struggling. What's the difference between the seeing the dream mobile versus the inappropriate attention? What is that? Don't worry, I'll explain it in a while. So with the exaggeration of this, then the attachment to the mobile comes and aversion to your competitor comes. So with this, then you end up into fist fight. That is karma. But the fist fight, then you end up into prison. That is want to end up in samsara. What? Okay, don't jump to that. If you don't want to be in samsara, you don't want to be in prison. In this case, what should you have not done? You should have stopped fighting. No karma, no contaminant karma. If you do not want to fight, what should you not have done? No attachment to the mobile, and no anger towards John Paul. In other words, no affliction. What should not have done. Don't exaggerate the quality, but it is, I'll explain a while. If you don't want to exaggerate the quality of this mobile, what should you do? You should not, this is very important, look. What should you should not have looked at the yes, we should not look at the dream mobile as a real mobile. If you don't want to see the dream mobile as a real mobile, what should you have done? Hey, all of you, if you don't want to see the dream mobile as a real mobile, what should you have done? Wake up. You have to wake up. So therefore, the Buddha is revered as the fully awakened one. Therefore, the Buddha is revered as the fully awakened one. We have to wake up. So the Buddha taught us how to wake up. Now, before we jump into how to wake up, we have to first learn the distinction between what are the 5 points that Arya Nagarjuna taught in this verse. What are the 5 points? Number 1, samsara. What is the immediate cause of that? Contaminant karmas. What is the immediate cause of contaminant karmas? Afflictions. What is the immediate cause of afflictions? Inappropriate attention. What is next? Elaboration of self-grasping ignorance. So you are confused. So samsara overall you know what samsara is overall. But to be very precise, we have to go through that. Contaminant karmas you know. Say actions, karma means actions. Physical, verbal, mental actions driven by afflictions is known as contaminant karmas. And afflictions means, affliction is a mental factor, the presence of which disturbs your mind. Let me repeat it. Affliction is a mental factor, the presence of which, for example, anger. The moment the anger arises, your mind is disturbed. You could feel disturbance. The affliction is defined as the mental factor, the presence of which disturbs your mind. So, afflictions because of the inappropriate attention because of the elaboration of self-grasping. So these two you want to know. So, same that in the dream, say, in my hand, in dream you saw a mobile in my hand. In dream you saw a mobile in my hand. But in reality, do you see mobile in my hand? I was in my bed. Nothing in my hand. But you exaggerate some object there. You exaggerate object. So exaggerate the object as really objectively there. Exaggerating mobile as objectively there. This is the first elaboration of self-grasping ignorance. Just object. Then comes, for example, let's say, okay, what is this? A flower. Okay, how many love flowers? Raise hands. How many don't? How many use flowers? So. Raise hands. So. Flowers so. Only one. Oh, only one. Flowers so. Okay, what about those who do not raise hands? So what is that? So not so as well as you don't love. You don't love flower also. So what is this then? Good, not good. So. Huh? And that I know. That I know. So is it good or bad? It's nice and not nice. No difference. This one is so. Oh, this one is so. Okay. So now look. Say that I show the same of you. What is this? You say that this is a flower. Then I say how beautiful it is. Those who are crazy after flowers, it's extremely beautiful. Those who are not really keen on flowers, they will say so. You're getting your reactions very different. So they, when I say so good, you are exaggerating. The object, you all agree that this is a flower. So although you are dreaming, there's no flower, but you dream, you project, and you see this object real. Then, so that we all project the flower. But the next is that how beautiful it is. And those who are crazy after the flower say, so beautiful. You are exaggerating the qualities of the flower. The first misconceiving of the flower is objectively real. That is the elaboration. Object, let me repeat it. Misconceiving the object as the flower as objectively real. While it's purely coming from your mind, subject, not from the object, but you see it as objectively real. That is the elaboration of the self-grasping ignorance. Next, then you exaggerate not the object, you exaggerate the qualities of the object. This is so good, this is so bad, this is so expensive, this is so nice, this is not nice. So all exaggeration of the qualities is known as inappropriate attention. You're getting it? All the problems started by exaggerating the object as object real, and then you exaggerate the qualities of the object. So exaggerating the object is the self-grasping ignorance, elaboration. Exaggerating the qualities of the object is the inappropriate attention. Then the mind is pull and push. It's so nice, pulled. Always flower. What is this? What is this? With some people who are so addicted, who are so used to this retreat. When I say, what is in my hand? They know what's the answer. They, without looking at it, it says flower. So this is what happens. So, say, some people may be so averse to the flower. Some people may be so crazy after the flower. So in both cases, you are exaggerating the quality of the object. Some say it's so good, some say, what is this? Always flower. So you are exaggerating the quality of the object. That is the inappropriate attention. With the inappropriate attention, then the pull and push happens. Nice, your mind is pulled. Not nice, your mind is pushed. This is known as involuntary pull and push. Involuntary, what is meant by involuntary? Anyone? What is meant by involuntary? Okay, just English word or French word. Involuntary. Involuntary. So, what is involuntary? Meaning, involuntary. Involuntary in general. You said freedom. Without, this is what you said. So, without freedom, involuntary has the connotation of lack of freedom. Lack of freedom. Okay, when you're watching a television in the olden times, nowadays everybody has a small gadget. In the olden times, when you're watching television, you want to keep the remote control in your hand or in your little brother's hand. Tell me. I'm repeating it. Hey, Gendula, I'm asking, when you're watching a television in the olden times, you want to keep the remote control yourself or you want to give it to your little brother's hand? What will you do? Okay, Tenjula is saying that I want to keep the remote control myself. How many agree with her, raise your hands? We all agree. Okay, my question to the Lharsam director. Okay, why you want to keep the remote control yourself? Because I want to have the control. I don't want to be controlled by my little brother. I want my freedom to choose the channel. I want freedom. You getting it? I want freedom. What's the opposite of freedom? Lack of freedom. Lack of freedom is samsara, suffering. Suffering is samsara. You getting it? This is very important. So involuntary pull and push happens. Where you exaggerate the quality is so good, involuntary pull happens. When the exaggeration of the object is so bad, involuntary push happens. Involuntary pull and push happens. The moment the pull and push happens, this is lack of freedom. Lack of freedom is misery. Misery is samsara. Okay, so when we see momos, what happens? Wow. Or Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Chanel, not chocolate. Not chocolate. Okay, Swiss chocolate. Swiss chocolate, wow, right? So when you say, wow, what has happened? We already, exaggeration already happened. And then involuntary pull happens, right? Oh no, it's not the Swiss chocolate. I thought it's Swiss chocolate. It's from somewhere, some other country. I'm not going to which country. Huh? French. I see. Okay. Okay, don't bring politics. Okay, so we see that the involuntary pull and push. Involuntary pull and push. Involuntary has the connotation of lack of freedom. Lack of freedom is suffering. Suffering is samsara. Don't forget it. So if somebody were to ask you, what is suffering? Lack of freedom. As simple as that. Lack of freedom. Nobody wants lack of freedom. Everybody wants freedom. But the moment we say the cheesecake, so good, or it's momo, so good, already you have lost your freedom. Involuntary pull happens already. So when that happens, so when a dog, okay, I don't know about the chansim. I don't know how the chansim reacts, but usually the dogs and the meat, if they meet, what happens? They don't have time to think. It's the same? Okay, what about Gendula, your dog? What is... The question is, your dog and the meat, when they meet, it's like this. Or the dog thinks, should I eat or not eat? Like this. So this is what? Involuntary pull. Escape velocity. You're getting it? Okay, it escapes from, not from samsara, it escapes from nirvana. Nirvana into samsara. Like this. This is where our mind behaves. Now, under such situation, say, John Paul, momos, veg momos, right? Or cheesecake, or Swiss chocolate, or whatever. So you say, before this, your mind and the object, before they meet like this, give yourself 10 seconds or 15 seconds. Okay, I can enjoy this with chocolate. I can enjoy this moment. I can enjoy this, whatever. But let me sit for 10 seconds. In 10 seconds, try to wake up from the sleep of ignorance. In 10 seconds, 15 seconds, just try to wake up. And then see, the moment you wake up slightly, just see how your mind behaves. Earlier, the mind, there's no control. So Tenchola said, I want the control. There's no control. The mind is pulled. Just see how what is happening here. So you could feel the pull there. Pull, pull, pull. And then give yourself 10 seconds, 15 seconds, or 20 seconds if the need be. And try to wake up from the sleep of ignorance. Give yourself like 10, 15 seconds. And the moment you get a feel that the feel of the waking up, then see how the mind behaves. The mind will rest. Earlier, involuntary pull happens. Now the involuntary pull stops without any rules, regulations. Without somebody saying, okay, the parents, they have a problem. You have to constantly tell your child, no mobile, no mobile, no mobile, yes? So now just imagine, if the child gets the opportunity to wake up from the sleep of this ignorance, what happens is that this child will, without the parents forcing the child to keep away the mobile, the child will automatically calm down, automatically stop from being pulled by the mobile. Okay, so this is what we need to check. So therefore, this realization where that how to wake up from the sleep of ignorance, this was something which never happened till Buddha came on the planet Earth. Even the true teachers of the Buddha, they could not wake up from the sleep of ignorance. So what they were doing in meditation, they were trying to create a discipline, forcefully discipline the mind to stay away from the dog and the meat. Like this, stay away. Hey, and then the discipline dog, hey, stop, don't eat, wait. So you have to create the discipline. Whereas you wake up, no discipline is required. No need somebody to impose discipline on you. Discipline happens automatically. Your mind calms down. So that is where we have to try to learn how to wake up. Once we learn that, try to put into practice. And then once you get a glimpse of what it is like, then try to apply this in your real life. When you meet with, the very appealing things, very attractive things, or very unattractive things, just before your mind goes like this, just give yourself a few seconds. And then see to the reality. See the reality? Okay. How many of you had very scary dreams in your life? Raise hands. Very scary dreams. Okay. Is there anyone who likes to share a dream with us? It's very scary. Anyone who likes to share a scary dream with us? Okay, Asinla. Okay, so the steering was missing, and then driving with full speed, and you think I'm dead now. It's banging against a tram. Okay, anyone else? Okay, anyone else? Anyone else? Okay, anyone else? Scary dream? Okay, John Paul. Cockroach. Oh. Oh, it is scary. Oh, okay. Okay, so let's say that then what is your John Paul's reaction when the bones come out? What's the reaction? Very scared. Okay, so let's imagine that what John Paul shared with us, that you're so scared, and like what Asina said, no steering, and the car is in full speed and hitting against a tram, and then you're dead, and you tell that I'm dead, and Asina, your daughter, wakes you up, and what do you feel? I'm not dead. It's okay. My question to you, all of you, is in the dream you have the fear, but the hitting against a tram, that's not real. Why should you be scared? Anyone? Yes. We do not know we are dreaming. We see it as objectively real. What is the word? Objectively. Don't forget it. You're getting it? Don't think that I'm a storyteller. You're getting it? I'm using the technical words to take you to how to wake up. So we see it as objectively real. The moment you wake up, your fear dissolves. You get the relief. Okay. Why do you get the relief? Anyone? Raise your hands. Yes, Ajinimala. Because you realized that it was not real. It's not object real. It's empty of being objectively real. Emptiness. Empty of objective reality. It's purely your mental projection. Then you feel the relief. Okay. So with this, the point is, okay. Okay, so say that so there are two sets, each with 3 points. First, seeing let's say dream ghost as objectively real. Seeing the dream ghost as objectively real, is it ignorance or wisdom? Is ignorance number one? Seeing the dream ghost as real, objective real, is ignorance number one. Number two, this ignorance happens when? In the dream or when you come out of the dream? It happens in the dream. Dream is the metaphor for ignorance. So this belief that the dream ghost is real happens in the, number one, it is ignorance. Number two, it happens in the dream. Number three, what is the outcome of this? Emotional reaction. What is the outcome? The fear or happy? The fear. Don't forget it. Number one, seeing the dream ghost as object real, this is ignorance. Number two, that this ignorance happens in the dream, not outside the dream. Number three, the outcome of this is fear. You want fear or you want freedom from fear? Fear is samsara. Freedom from fear is nirvana. You getting it? Okay, this is one set. One set of 3 points. The next set of 3 points pertains to nirvana. See, the dream goes when your mother wakes you up, it's not real. So seeing the dream goes as not objectively real. Seeing the dream goes as not objectively real is ignorance or wisdom. Number one, it is wisdom. Number two, seeing the dream goes as not real, happens in the dream or outside dream. Outside dream, number two. Number three, what is the outcome? The fear rises or fear dissolves? Fear dissolves. Okay, what do you want? You want the fear arising the fear, or dissolving the fear? What do you want? Dissolve. If you want to dissolve the fear, you have to see the dream goes as empty of objective reality. How to do that? Wake up. Again, same point that the Buddha is to be the so fully awakened one. So we have to learn how to wake up. Okay, how many want to wake up? Raise hands. Wake up so that all the pain will stop. How many want to wake up? Raise hands. How many are very serious with this? Serious. We're very serious. Okay. So Krishna is asking Kumbhala to raise both hands. Okay. Both hands up, bro. I'm very serious. So this is serious. Okay. So if you are very serious, then you have to, not just you, we all have to listen to this, what the Buddha taught. In Tibetan, Tongpa Shiva Kyo Mebesul Mishe Bene Dua Kyam Yurba. Tongpa Shiva Kyo Mebesul Mishe Bene Dua Kyam Yurba. Teta Tushe Ngawe Tabzuki Riba Gyada Ken Zubarse. In English, emptiness, peace, signlessness, failing to see these three sentient beings wander in samsara. the one enthused by great compassion, taught this emptiness with multitudes of reasons. Let me say this once more. Emptiness, peace, and the signlessness. Failing to see these three, the beings, sentient beings wander in samsara. The one enthused by great compassion, with multitudes of reasons, explain this and lead the beings into this understanding. So this is what the Buddha taught. So with this, now, how do we get there? How do we wake up? This is a question. For that matter, say the Buddha, this concept of waking up is not that easy. We should take it very seriously. We should take it very seriously. Because the Buddha remained silent for how many days? 49 days without giving teachings. To tell us that, it's not that nobody understands, I'll not teach. This is not the point. But to tell us that you have to take it seriously. You cannot take it lightly. By taking it lightly, you will never understand this. You will never be able to wake up. So which is easier? To get a picture of the pizza or to get the real pizza? Which is easier? Picture of pizza is easier. It's very easy. You can print this 100,000 times just for a few francs. You're getting it? But the real pizza, you cannot print out like this. You're getting it? It involves hard work. And real pizza has the capacity to remove your hunger. Picture of the pizza will not remove your hunger. So, therefore, if you don't take it seriously, you only get the picture of the pizza. You never get the real pizza if you don't take it seriously. So the Buddha wants us to remove our hunger, to remove our fear. So how to remove the fear? Because this requires effort. This requires effort. Somebody, Prince Siddhartha, like Prince Siddhartha, who was extremely intelligent and so committed, dedicated, so much of enthusiasm. Still, it took him like 6 years. 6 years. So if we don't take it seriously, then we cannot really wake up. So to indicate that, to wake up from the sleep of ignorance, you should be very serious. So the Buddha taught, Buddha remained silent for 49 days. And then finally, Buddha started to give the teaching, as we already explained it, on day 1. So for that, to jump into emptiness, how to wake up in the first place. What is the difference between waking up? Okay, let's say that okay, look at somebody who's sitting next to you, quick. Look at somebody. Look at somebody. I didn't ask you to smile. I just said, look at the other person. I didn't ask you to smile. Okay, look at the other person. You don't have to frown also. Some people, they are frowning. Yuan and the Kamina. Kamin, right? Kamili. Kamilia. Kamili. Kami. Okay, Yuan and Kami, they have been frowning at each other. Frowning. Yes, being very too serious. Yes, she's being serious, so you're serious. And others smiling at each other. I don't ask you to smile. I just look at the other person. Hey, be serious. Look at the other person. Look at the other person. Look at the other person. Okay, I can still see that you are smiling. Okay, now, good. Okay, now close your eyes. Close your eyes. Hey, close your eyes. No, you don't look at each other. Too excited. Okay, close your eyes and think of the same person who made you smile. Think of the same person who made you smile. Close your eyes and think of the same person who made you smile. Okay, now open your eyes. Okay, lucky there's nobody smiling now. If you smile, it is a smile, then it's time to go for the mental health. In mental health hospital. This is what I'm saying. So then Patrick has to take us to mental hospital. Mental hospital if you smile. You getting it? Okay. Now tell me, in the first case, when you look at other person, it made the smile invariably they came out. In the second case, smile did not come. Now tell me why. Why this difference? Quick raise hands. Quick raise hands. Why in the first case you have the smile, involuntarily the smile came, and in the second case no smile. Why? Okay, Yuan, Juan. Okay, in the second case no contact, but you're in contact with the image. Why not smile then? There's a contact. Ah. So then the Karo also smiled. Karo and Joanne, they came to the airport. Actually, they meant to go to mental hospital. They came to the airport to receive us. Actually, it's wrong. They went to the mental hospital. Okay, now I know the reason why they came to the airport. Maybe they go to the mental hospital and the John Paul asked them, hey, first go to the airport. Okay, good. Anyone else? Okay, Nicola. Very good. Okay, here. Okay, say who was that person who you were looking at? Okay, now you look by analyzing the details. Look. Still you are smiling. You said when I'm analyzing it, you do not smile, but you're smiling, you're analyzing, still you're smiling. Why the smile came? Okay, this is a very serious question. Anyone else? Anyone who has give the answer? Okay, Kumbala. Okay, so what Ajahn is saying is that when the other person responds to you in a very affectionate way with a smile, your smile also increases inside. Very good. And then you just imagine that the other person is smiling at you. Close your eyes and see if your smile increases. And Karo, yes, it increases. Okay, Gumbala. Okay, with the second, you put effort to do the visualization. Okay, that also sounds interesting. Yes, sir. Okay, so in fact, what Ajahn is saying and what Nicola is saying, two of them are much more the same. These two things much more the same. That when you look at the other person, you can see the person as real. You can touch, you can feel. Whereas when you imagine, it's just purely projection of your mind, and objectively, it's not really there. How many agree with two of them? Raise hands. How many agree with them? Okay, very good. So, in a way, what they are saying, what you are all saying, what you are saying is that when you see things as objectively real, your emotions become involuntary, emotions arise. When you see them as purely coming from your mind, not from the object, then the involuntary emotions start. So this control over your emotions, your mind rests. You're getting it? So therefore, this is known as the wisdom of emptiness. Okay. So when you wake up from this when you wake up from the very scary dream, you feel relief. Oh, it's not real. I'm so glad. I'm still alive. I'm not dead. So this is a relief that comes to you. So this really came to you because of realizing that the dream ghost was objectively not real. You agree? You agree? Good. Okay, look, this is something which is extremely important. We need many examples to see how you see it's purely your mental projection, then your fear stops. What's the opposite of mental projection? What is the opposite of mental projection? Anyone? Objective reality. Instead of mental projection versus objective reality. When you see things objective real, emotions arise, the fear, attachment, all these arise. When you see them as coming from your mind is under control. Attachment, aversion, they all stop. All the involuntary movement of your mind stops. Okay, so we need to think of many of these examples. So one example that you see from the past, the stories related to emptiness, was that there was a king. There was a king, and this king, he, out of his passion, he called one of his painters, a brilliant painter, and he he commissioned the painter to paint something, and then he gave a room, all the painting, what do you call it, the brush, the paint, all these provided. Okay, tools. Then maybe after about 1 month, 2 months, the painting finished, and the painter reported to the king, and the king was very happy. He rewarded the painter with the gold coins. And after 2 years, the king, again, he thought of the same painter, and he invited the painter once more and said, now you do another painting. And he was showed the same room, the tools given, and the painter went there, and the painter dropped everything and came out screaming, running, screaming, saying, there's a ghost there. He just went out and left the palace. And the king is so inauspicious. There can't be a ghost in my palace. So he instructed his ministers to check. Inside there was his own painting which he painted 2 years ago. The painting of a ghost which he painted, he forgot. He forgot it was his painting. It was seen so real, object real. That scared him. Actually, it was his own creation, and forgot that he forgot is his subjective creation, his own creation. He saw that as objectively real. You getting it? Okay, these stories, if you must remember, you must note them down. That will be very helpful to us. Okay. Now, another story which I learned, I think 1992. 1992, how many of you were not born? Kusala not born. Kumbala not born. John Paul not born. 1992. Maybe 1 year. Yeah. Okay, so 1992 or 1991, I don't remember too well. It was the Mind and Life Conference. How many are aware of this? Mind and Life Conference. Okay, Mind and Life Conference, His Holiness the Dalai Lama conceived the idea with the help of Professor Francisco Varela, who was a brilliant neuroscientist and a botanist. Not botanist, neuroscientist. And the Adam Engel. Two of them, His Holiness, Professor Francisco Varela and Adam Engel, two of them created the Mind Life Conference. It was in 1987. And then it was already like 2 or 3 conferences held, and it was 1991. That somehow I got the chance. I was just 20 or 21 years old, just a young boy, from the IBD, Institute of Buddhist Dialectics, and the Office of Wisdom so kindly gave the opportunity for some participants from these institutions. Our institution sent me there. So I got a chance there, and I could not understand anything what was being discussed there, because it is some very high level, and I couldn't understand anything. I was just about 21 years old. So the only thing that I can remember so well, even today, was one lady presenter. She said something that was so indebted in my mind. So what she said was that there was a girl sleeping in her bed, and in the night, from the window, there was a big black creature came, and that the girl was sleeping on the bed, and the big creature came, and the girl felt so helpless. So helpless. What do we do now? So scared, and the black creature, he just almost like overwhelming the girl and said, "Now you made me. What should I do? You made me. What should I be doing now? What should I do next?" So actually, the girl was dreaming. So this dream, who made this dream? The girl was dreaming. So who made the dream? The girl made the dream. So girl is the boss. So he was asking, what should you do next now? You already made me. You already trended me. Now what should I be doing? You're getting it? This is your projection, but you are unaware that you're projecting it. Because you projected it, number one. You're unaware that you projected it. So therefore it is seen as, you forgot that is your subjective projection. So therefore you see it as objectively real. When you see it objectively real, very scary object, then you feel the fear. You react with the fear. You're getting it? So the key is, when you wake up, then what happens? You come to realize that that was your subjective projection. The moment you discover subjective projection, you see that objectively it was empty. Objectively empty. So when you wake up, you realize the dream is objectively empty and your fear dissolves. Okay, so therefore, going back to the 5 points, if you don't want to, or the 5 points, samsara, contaminant karmas, afflictions, inappropriate attention, and hey, okay, number 1, samsara. Number 2, contaminant karmas. Number 3, afflictions. Number 4, inappropriate attention. Number 5, self-grasping ignorance. If you don't, okay, let's say that with the metaphor of the dream, if you don't want to be in the prison in the dream, what should you do? You should have stopped fighting karma. If you don't want to have the karma, what should you have done? No affliction, no fight with John Paul, no attachment to the mobile. If you don't want to have the affliction, what should you do? Don't exaggerate the qualities of the object, no inappropriate attention. If you don't want the inappropriate attention, what should you do? Don't see the dream mobile, empty of object reality, as object real, mobile. If you don't want to see the dream mobile as object real mobile, what should you do? Wake up. Okay, so what is your next question? How to wake up? Very good, how to wake up? Okay, for this, how does it help if you wake up? How does it help if you wake up? To end the dream, so that nothing in the dream can affect you, you're freed. Okay, so Buddha taught that not only the dream goes as a dream, everything is like a dream. You can wake up from the dream of ignorance where nothing can affect you anymore. Nothing can affect you anymore. Everything is like a dream. Okay, so for that you have to wake up. So from the conventional dream, we've been waking up every day. You agree? From the conventional dream, you have been waking up every day. But the whole universe is like a dream. This is unconventional dream. From the unconventional dream, we have never woken up. Oh, by the way, we never know, Swiss people. Some may be woken up from the unconventional dream. Is there anybody who has woken up from the unconventional dream? Okay. So, if there is somebody who's already woken up from the unconventional dream, you will not come to this class, I know. You will not come to this class if you're already woken up from the sleep of the unconventional dream. You will not come to the class. If you still come, you came to check on me. What he teaches, whether he's teaching correctly or not correct. You came to check on me. You getting it? Okay. So our job is to wake up from the sleep of ignorance, from the unconventional dream. And from the conventional dream, you wake up, again fall asleep, again dream. You wake up, again dream. But from the unconventional dream, once you are woken up, you're woken up fully. You don't will go back. You're getting it? You are freed eternally, completely. Okay, so how to wake up from the unconventional? This is a very serious question. And Bodhisattva Arideva, in the 1st century AD, teacher, a great teacher who was the student of Arya Nagarjuna. What is that? Is that in Tibetan? In Tibetan, Sonam Chume Chudela Tezum Zayan Samigur Kete Tezum Samgini Seba Shubu Chebar Gur. Angela. Sonam Chume Chudela. Okay, so this girl at one point, she was the youngest of the students attending the classes, online classes. I think during the COVID time. Yes, she was I think she was, you knew not the youngest. Who? Gombala? Huh? Oh, Namsala. Okay, good. Okay, so the English translation is, those with less merit will not even have a doubt in this teaching on emptiness. Let me repeat it. Those with less merit will not even have a doubt in this teaching on emptiness. Should a doubt ever arise, it will shatter your samsara into pieces. Okay, which page? 254. Page 254. Page 254. Okay. Page 254, which verse? Verse 1. At the top, at the first verse in page 254. Okay. The director of Hasam Center, can you read it for us a little louder? Wonderful. This is so precious. It gives such a hope in us that particularly when we go through difficult times, extremely difficult times in our life, just raise your hands. How many of you had the experience of difficult times in your life? Raise your hands. Really, really difficult times in your life. Okay. So all elders we have, younger ones you might not have. If you don't have, don't worry. They're all waiting for you. For the younger ones, they're all waiting for you. Again, nothing to worry. Don't be too excited. They'll come. Okay. So now, there's such a hope that when you go through these pains, the pains are so acute, so real. Now, how to stop the pain? This is part. See? So therefore, to see how to wake up from this sleep of ignorance. Now, how? This question. So for that, usually it is said, why the Buddha remained silent for 49 days to indicate that the wisdom of emptiness, how to wake up from the sleep of ignorance, it is not that easy. You can easily slide down into concept of emptiness, slide down into nihilism. This danger is there. So therefore, to avoid this danger, Buddha deliberately remained silent for 49 days to tell the people, to tell us that this is a very serious matter. You should take it very seriously. So, how do you take it seriously? Yes, of course. They say in some texts, a warning is given that don't teach this topic to people who are not prepared. So what is meant by somebody who is prepared? So who understands emptiness in the context of dependent origination. then the danger is avoided. Okay, so for this, the first thing, before we jump into emptiness, we have to check if we can get through the 2 gates. Let me repeat it. Before we jump into the concept of emptiness, we should pass through the 2 gates. If you succeed in getting through 2 gates successfully, then you can talk about emptiness. Till that point, we are not eligible to talk about emptiness. So the first gate, do things exist? What is the answer? Hey, do things exist? What's the answer? The answer is hello, thank you. Okay, the first gate. What's the first gate? Do things exist? What is the answer? Yes, if you say no, you fall into nihilism. It's not emptiness, it's nihilism. Let me repeat it. The first gate, do things exist? If the answer is no, things don't exist, because the Buddha taught everything's nature, emptiness and selflessness. If this is your answer, you fall into nihilism. You could not get to the first gate. So the answer should be, yes, everything exists. This should be the answer. Only if you say, yes, everything exists. When you do good things, happiness follows. You do bad things, miseries follow. This is the reality. If you accept this, then you are entitled to go to the second gate. And second gate says, do things exist objectively? What's the answer? If you say yes, you fall into the other extreme of absolutism. You fall extreme of absolutism. So the answer should be, in second question, to the second question, the answer should be no, things don't exist objectively. Okay, now you combine the two together. First you said things exist. Second, you said things don't exist objectively. Then how do they exist? I say, okay, let me say something. Things exist, number one. Number two, things don't exist objectively. Then how do they exist? Conventionally, dependently, Christian, merely labeled by the mind, subjectively. Very good. Okay, so now look. So as long as you succeed in passing through the two gates, you're entitled to speak about emptiness, whether dependent origination, subjectively, labeled by the mere label, whatever, you can talk about emptiness. Okay, so what are the two gates? Anyone? Very quick. Anyone? Yes, definitely. Two things exist. What is the answer? Yes. What is the second gate? What's the answer? Perfect. Okay. So only when you get to very important. And the Sutra, Rise Seedling Sutra. Anybody who would like to help us to identify where this sutra is? The Sutra on Dependent Origination, Rise Seedling. Page 67. So know that it exists in this book. This sutra is very important. Just know that this sutra is there in this book. And I'm going to give a quick touch on the theme, on the essence of what this sutra taught. And you don't need to go through this, just mark it for your future studies. So this sutra here, you find that one day one morning, the Buddha was passing by a rice field. Let me say this once more. That the Buddha was passing by a rice field, and the Buddha stopped, followed by the Buddha's disciples, the monks. And the Buddha pointed to the pointed to a rice shoot, rice sprout, pointed to rice sprout, and they told the monks, whoever sees dependent origination will see the Dharma. Whoever sees the Dharma will see the Buddha. Oh, let's not forget, these are sutras, so precious. Even for us to be able to repeat these is so precious for us. We accumulate so much merit. So when the Buddha pointed to the rice seedling and told the monks, whoever sees dependent origination will see the Dharma. And whoever sees the Dharma will see the Buddha. Number one, don't forget this. Then the Buddha continued, the Buddha taught, because this exists, that exists. Because this is produced, that is produced. Because of ignorance, the karma comes into being, because of which the consciousness comes into being, because of which the name and form, the sources, the contact, the craving, the grasping, becoming, birth, aging and death, the bewilderment, confusion, the heap of miseries arise. And then continued. When the ignorance stops, the karma stops, with which consciousness stops, with which the name and form stops, with which the sources, the contact, then the feeling, the craving, grasping, becoming, and the birth, the aging and death, bewilderment, confusion, the heap of miseries will stop. This is what the Buddha taught. Okay, so that we need to know. So therefore the Buddha taught, whoever sees dependent origination will see the Dharma, and whoever sees the Dharma will see the Buddha. So dependent origination plays a very important role when we think about emptiness, number one. Then number two is because this exists, that exists, number one. Because this is produced, that is produced, number two. Number three, because of ignorance, karma is created, because of which the consciousness, so forth. So there are three things the Buddha indicated, which Arya Asanga, he put these three things and put them in one category known as the three conditions. Arya Sangha called these three things as the three conditions. Okay, the first one, the unwavering condition. What are the three conditions? The first one, which Arya Sangha calls as the unwavering condition. In Tibetan is yo me begin. Unwavering condition. Number two, the condition of impermanence, mitabikin. Condition of impermanence. Number three, the condition of potentiality, nubekin. The first one, you are mebiken, mitabiken, nubekin. The unwavering condition, the condition of impermanence, and the condition of potentiality. Okay, so I'll explain this and we'll stop here. What's the first condition? Unwavering condition, which the Buddha indicated as, because this exists, that exists. Meaning that all composite phenomena should necessarily have their causes. Because the cause exists, that exists, result exists. So there's no random phenomena arising. Is what the Buddha indicated, which Arya Sangha they labeled as unwavering condition. They say for composite phenomena, unwaveringly there must be a cause, number one. Number two, what is the second condition? Condition of impermanence. Not only that you should be the cause must be impermanent in nature. Only if the cause is impermanent, then the result can come into being. If the cause is permanent, result cannot come into being. Number two. What is number three? The condition of potentiality. The condition of potentiality for which the Buddha indicated, because of ignorance, contaminant karmas arise. And then at the end, miseries arise. Ignorance will not give rise to nirvana. Ignorance only gives rise to miseries. For example, okay, bitter God. Switzerland, you don't have bitter God. Swiss, you don't have bitter God? Huh? Karela, yeah. You have? Okay. Okay. So let's say the bitter gourd, there's, okay, if you don't know what is bitter gourd is a vegetable which is very bitter in taste. You like it? Yes. Okay, those who already, and who are used to that, they will love it. You don't use it. If you're not used to that, you like to take a challenge, try it. Hey, John Paul, you try it? Bitter God, you try it? You tried once. Yeah, you tried once. You must try it once. And please, then report to me. Okay, the bitter God, you're getting it? It's so bitter. And what is the taste of the mangoes? Bitter? Very sweet. Okay, so you plant a mango, you see that your neighbor, the neighbor grows so much of beautiful, sweet mangoes. And you also like to have mangoes. Then you plant the bitter gourd seed. You plant bitter gourd seed and expecting mangoes to grow. And what grows? Bitter gourds. No mangoes. You're getting it? No mangoes. What's the problem? So why they have mangoes? They put water. I also put water. But bitter gourd bitter things came out. Not the sweet things. What's the problem? Because of the seed, the wrong seed. Bitter gourd seed does not have the potential. What is the third condition? The condition of potentiality. So the bitter gourd seed does not have the potential to give rise to mangoes. If you want mangoes, you plant the seed which has the potential to give rise to mangoes. That is the mango seeds. Plant mango seeds. Plant mango seeds. So therefore, this is where the Buddha taught us to be extremely practical and realistic. So therefore, this is what I mentioned to you last time, that we just expect empowerments. With empowerments, and the Lama should touch you and you get a blessing, right? And you invoke the Zambala, and you imagine you become a billionaire. And His Holiness says that Tibetans are so fond of invoking the God of wealth, and no millionaire. And the Westerners, they don't have Zambala, but there are so many millionaires. You're getting it? So in a way, what His Holiness is teaching us to be realistic. Don't follow too blindly. Don't follow blind faith. This is the message. It comes from the original source, where it says the condition of potentiality. So therefore, I remember, I think I mentioned this class, day one, that one morning I received a call. Yes, I mentioned this. I received a call from a lady who said that, Geshe, I'm going to give up Buddhism. I said it. And then she said, I said, why? She said, because I prayed to Buddha, I prayed to Tara that my brother should get a job. Then I said, if you want, my response to her is, if you are hungry, don't pray to Buddha, go to kitchen. And if you are sick, don't pray to Buddha, go to hospital. Don't become Buddhist, go to hospital. So, if you want your brother to get a job, don't become a Buddhist. Tell your brother, don't waste your time in the pubs. Don't waste your time in the bars. Don't waste your time there. Instead, prepare for the competitive exams. Crack the exams and get the most privileged jobs. Tell your brother, no need to become Buddhist. This is what I told her. Okay, so this accords with what the Buddha taught us. Because of ignorance, only contaminant karmas arise, not the uncontaminated karmas. Because of ignorance, miseries arise, not happiness. Because of ignorance, samsara will happen, not nirvana. If you want nirvana, instead of ignorance, you should go for the wisdom. With the wisdom, the nirvana happens. With the ignorance, only samsara happens. This is known as the condition of potentiality. Okay, yes. Yes, what is that question? Okay, about the Bodhicitta. So there's this one. Yes, there's one, and but the other question also, anyone who remembers? Yes, this one. And one, only one. Are you sure? Okay, lucky. If there are more, okay, then I'm not going to give hints. Okay, so this tomorrow. So we stop here. A dedication prayer. Okay, page number 55. Dedication prayers. In the land encircled by snow mountains, you're the source of all happiness and good. All powerful charity say Tenzin Gyatso, please remain until samsara ends. Just as a brave Manjushri and Saban and Mother too realize things as they are, also I dedicate all his merits in the best way that I may follow the perfect example. I dedicate all these rules of virtue with the dedication praised as the best by all the Buddhas who appeared in 3 times, so that I might perform the noble Buddhist of the states. I dedicate the merit thus gathered towards the realization that is in the prayers of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas all 3 times, and to the upholding of the doctrine and scripture and insight. May I know all life through the force of this merit, never separate from the 4 wheels of the Mahana vehicle, and accomplish all the stages of the path, renunciation, bodhicitta, perfect and the 2 stages. Having dispelled all inner and outer obstacles and downfalls, such as poverty, despair, oppression, cruelty, epidemics, and natural disasters, to the environmental degradation, may all beings forever enjoy the glory of peace and happiness. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I generate the mind of full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. May I spend day and night carefully reflecting about what means can enhance his teaching, achieved by Supreme Savior, to restrain his efforts over countless eons. From my 2 collections, vast space that I've amassed, from working with effort at this practice for a great length of time, may I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose minds wisdom is blind of ignorance. Tharge tuje shake rizo chon shenge emeto dege ponjomba serge dumbo tabo jebe ko shage gebo kyala chaselo amane mone mahamona yeswa amone 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 mone mahamona yeswa. Okay, a quick announcement. Is the birthday of our very dear friend Lama Palden today. Okay, many congratulations, Lama Pandela. Okay, 3 prestations. Seems like there's a secret. Okay. Okay.